Many consider it a crown jewel of college basketball, Cameron Indoor Stadium.
And how about this place? 9,000 seats. Looks pretty good to be 75 years old. WRAL's Julia Sim reports on a few things you may not know about this storied sporting venue.
To really feel the heartbeat of Cameron Indoor Stadium, you have to step inside. Since the doors opened in 1940, students have always had a front row seat.
Because you're pressed together, it's really warm, you're shouting until you're hoarse.
Legend has it the concept for Cameron was originally sketched out on a matchbook cover. But the reality is it was designed by one of the country's first black architects.
Julian Abel is the name of the architect of the stadium. The fact that he was a black man who helped design a segregated Southern school was not widely known until the 1980s.
When it opened, Duke Indoor Stadium, as it was known then, was one of the largest on the East Coast. That first game, it was against Princeton.
And who won that game?
Duke won that game, of course.
Not long after, during World War II, the stadium was turned into a pseudo-dorm. Then, in 1951, the first integrated game was played on the court against Temple University. It happened 12 years before the school itself was desegregated. And then in 1972, the university renamed the stadium after coach Eddie Cameron. Through the decades, it's been used for graduations and concerts.
It's probably best known to a lot of alums for the Grateful Dead concert that was held in the late 70s. It was quite a trip, I think.
Today, Cameron Indoor is one of the smallest college venues and one of the loudest. And yes, it's one of the hottest. Prior to the 2002-2003 season, air conditioning was non-existent.
At halftime, I took my tie and my shirt off because I did have a T-shirt underneath it, but I was sweating like a mule.
Bob Harris, the voice of the Blue Devils, has had his hand on the pulse of Cameron for 40 years.
Other schools are building bigger and better, stadiums or arenas. Not here.
Not here. Not as long as the guy with the long name's in charge. He loves it here, and I think for the most part everybody else does too.
From high up in the crow's nest, Harris has a bird's eye view of what makes this place
the greatest sports venue in the world.
Just so special.
Period.
And of course, down below, you can feel it. That heartbeat that's Cameron Indoor Stadium.
You hear that rhythmic thump coming from the stadium, and it gets louder and louder, and it gets warmer and brighter, and you walk in and it's just dazzling with all the colors and people and noise. It's really a completely unique experience.
Julia Sims, WRAL News, Durham.
And if you ever go, you will know. Julia tells us Cameron Indoor was built on football revenue. At the time, university leaders didn't know if basketball would make any money. Really? Well, now they know.